dia! It's time for my daily walk. The question I'm asking myself today is, should I apply for Brazilian citizenship? And the answer to that question, in my case, in my personal case, is yes. Now, what I'm referring to is becoming a dual citizen, or having dual citizenship, I should say. There was a time when I considered giving up my American citizenship, and that was during the dark years of the Trump presidency. And I seriously questioned whether I wanted to continue being a U.S. citizen under the Trump regime. And I was still entertaining that idea, although less so, as late as a few months ago, when Trump was riding high and it looked like he might actually win re-election, and I was horrified by the idea because the second time around would definitely be much, much worse than the first. But now I'm feeling cautiously, I repeat, cautiously optimistic that the tides have turned, that Trump is on a downward spiral and he has a good chance of losing. I'm not betting the house on it though, because I was very optimistic that he had not a chance in hell in 2016, and look, we know what happened. So I don't want to count the chickens before they hatch, but I'm now looking or thinking of dual citizenship, being both a U.S. citizen and a Brazilian citizen. And what are the advantages of that? Well, the first advantage, in my opinion, may sound a little superficial, but it's simply the coolness factor of having two passports, two citizenships. Brazil is a cool country. It's hard to find people who hate Brazil or have anything against Brazil. And I would love to have a Brazilian passport, to be a Brazilian citizen. There are countries in the world where Brazilians can travel visa-free, and Americans can't. So that would be a great advantage. And it would just be so cool to flash up my Brazilian passport and say, I'm Brazilian, because I love Brazil. The second advantage would be what I would call for safe harbor. Now, the world is really messed up right now. We're in a very dangerous point. There are flashpoints, danger points in various parts of the world. And in the event of, God forbid, a nuclear exchange, well, really there's no place on earth that is safe. Either from a direct hit or from the subsequent fallout. So it's not, Brazil would not be a safe haven in the case of nuclear war, but in the event of conventional war, a very bad, let's say a third world war scenario that did not include nuclear destruction, of course Brazil and every other country in the world would suffer consequences, shortages, etc., interruptions, but Brazil and South America are not zones of conflict, and there would be some relative safety all the way down here in the southern hemisphere. And that's a second reason. And also because, Brazil and Brazilians are not a target of the world's wrath, unlike the United States. And finally, a third advantage is that Brazil is a member of the Mercosur. And just like citizens of countries that are members of the European Union can live in any one of the EU countries, as you know, the United Kingdom just lost that right because of Brexit, but the rest of the EU member countries or citizens of those countries can live in any EU country. I think that's fabulous. In the case of Brazil, it's a member of the Mercosur, and so Brazilian citizens have the right to live in any Mercosur country, of which Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay are members. And I'm going to have to check it, but I think maybe Bolivia is also, and Venezuela was, but due to the mess that Venezuela has created for itself, it's been suspended. But what I want to say is that if one day I can't take this hot tropical weather anymore of Brazil, I would have the option of, let's say, move to southern Argentina, Patagonia, and live in a four-season temperate climate. So those are the three reasons, the three advantages of becoming a Brazilian citizen. The first step in this process of becoming a Brazilian citizen, I should mention that I am fully eligible to apply for citizenship. I am a permanent legal resident of Brazil with the equivalent of a green card. It's not called a green card here, but I have the equivalent of a green card. And I've lived here 2 years now. So I am eligible to apply for citizenship, which is very exciting. The first step in that process is I am required to take a Portuguese language course followed by a written and oral exam. It doesn't matter that I speak Portuguese very well. You don't have to be fluent, but you have to be proficient enough to communicate in your day-to-day life. And I am certainly beyond that. So, but nonetheless, it is a requirement to take the course and to take and pass the written and oral exam, which is given by the government. The course, I believe, is, as you can see, I'm back home now. As I was walking outside, my cell phone ran out of battery, so I had to come back and to recharge. So I'll continue the video here. I believe that the language course is about 10 weeks, and then you take a written and oral exam given by the government, and if you pass, then I believe it's just a question of submitting documents similar to the procedure I went through when I applied for permanent residency. Submitting documents and filling out application forms. And I'm guessing the whole process of applying for citizens, well, I'm going to allow a year. Hopefully it only takes 6 months, but a year seems more realistic to me. And so hopefully by this time next year, I will be a full-fledged Brazilian citizen with a green Brazilian passport in hand. And I think that idea is very exciting, and it's a goal I'm planning on working on. And my cat is a Brazilian citizen, by the way. She was born here in Brazil, right here in the state of Bahia. So she has nothing to worry about. So that is my goal. My short and medium-term goal is to become a Brazilian citizen and a citizen of the Mercosur and have more opportunities and options in my life as far as where I can live and where I can travel. Brazil is and will be my home base. There will come a time in the future where I'm going to want to spread my wings and perhaps live for a while in other countries, but right now I see Brazil and Salvador, the city of Salvador, as my home base, as the city of San Francisco, California once was. So that's it for today. Kitty and I wish you a great weekend, and we'll see you soon in the next episode. Thanks for joining us. Beijos. Ciao.